There's one thing that isn't talked about a lot in professional sports photography, which is how different it is to shoot for club as opposed to shooting for agency or for newspaper, or basically shooting for news purposes. Now, when I started out professionally, I was working for a club, and 98% of the time, the shots I was taking were in a 1-to-1 ratio, or sometimes 4:5, which is what's best for Insta, but 1-to-1 is pretty good for Twitter. And 4:5 is also decent for Facebook, and 1:1 is great for website as well. And also the kind of shots that I would take that the club would need for like halftime graphics, they were completely different, and I'll get to that later. And then the third thing was there was so much creative stuff that I could do, like take images with like a skewed background with my horizon not being straight. I could be much more looser with cropping, and it didn't really matter. When I transitioned into then shooting for press, for agency and press, that was completely different. 99% of the shots have to be in 3:2. That is by far the most popular aspect ratio that newspapers and websites want. And the entire composition process became extremely different. So things that I could do for club, where for instance sometimes I could shoot through a player's legs and use his legs to frame up a subject, that kind of image would be like a hit with the club. It would get binned by agency because newspapers are not going to publish something like that. So if you're starting out and you want to be a professional sport photographer and you're looking to master one kind of photography, because it does matter, like, when you're applying for a job as a club photographer, if you send them an agency like portfolio, they might not like it because none of your images look like something that they could use. Similarly, if you're applying for agency and all you have are pictures with a skewed background that look creative, or pictures where the player is like at the end of the frame and there's everything behind them, there's just like so many different things from a composition perspective between shooting for club and shooting for news and journalism purposes, to the point where I actually think a club photographer and a photojournalist are absolutely not the same thing. You can master both, of course, and you can do either or both. But if you're looking to master one to begin with, I think it's important to note that difference and try and learn one kind until you're good enough and then move on to the next. I think I can now seamlessly switch. Like at times when I'm assigned to go and shoot as a club photographer, I do it seamlessly because I've done that before. But when I'm shooting for agency or for news purposes, again, that's different. And that difference, it's never spoken about enough.